Last week on When the Beat Drops,
and I was like, oh, he talked about Kylie, because y'all know Kylie not even 18 yet. I was like, bring it on, bring the drama on in 2015, why not? Like, come on, let's do it, it's entertainment for us all. It is your girl Jade Ashley, and I'm gonna welcome you back to a new video of When the Beat Drops, where I give you my 5 hottest beats of this week. So stay tuned for more. Okay, guys, so let's just jump into like this week's beats. There's like so much we need to go over. So let's just get right into it like right now. So the first beat of this week, I want to talk about the first 3 beats kind of like align with one another, and I just didn't want to clutter them into like one whole beat because we will be sitting here forever. So I'm going to tell the story of what's going on, and I think some of you already know what I'm about to start talking about, but I'm going to do it in chronological order. So let's just start with this first beat, and the first beat is kind of like Amber Rose versus Khloe Kardashian. Let's just start there. And I know you guys probably like, what does that have to do with music? But we're gonna get into it. So last week, Amber Rose, she was here in New York City and she did an interview with The Breakfast Club. And of course, you know The Breakfast Club, they're gonna ask you any and everything, especially like if you've been in the media a lot. So they first started asking her questions about like her marriage to Wiz Khalifa, and she talked about how like their marriage failed, how it was like infidelities and stuff or whatever, and how she waited for him to come home and he wasn't coming home, and she was like, you know what, I'm about to do me, and she was like, deuces, and she kind of hinted that she was, you know, messing around with James Harden from the Houston Rockets, you know. So that it was that part of the interview, but that's not the part of the interview that had everybody talking and kind of like flustered into this week. So they asked her also last week in the interview, they said to her, if you were to see Tyga and Kylie Jenner together, would you say hi to them? Now, recently, within like the past couple of months, you know, Amber Rose has been seen hanging out with Blac Chyna, who is the mother of Tyga's child. And, you know, they've been like milfing around the country here and there and stuff, whatever, you know, shutting down Instagram and stuff or whatever the case may be. So so they asked her, they said, yeah, so if you were to see Tyga and Kylie out together, would you say what's up? And she was like real blunt with it. She was like, no, I would not. Why would Tyga sit here and leave this beautiful woman talking about China and his child for a 16-year-old who just turned 17? And then she was like, Kylie needs to go to bed at like 7 o'clock or something like that, you know, because Kylie's not like 18. So technically, to everybody that's involved in the situation, Kylie is the child of the situation, basically. So she got into that, and then she just did not like that whole situation. And then she went on to talk about like the whole Kardashians and how like she likes them, she thinks they're pretty, but she thinks they're fake. Particularly, she was talking about Kim and stuff, whatever. She says she has so much potential to be dope, but she does not like her. Like, she was just, you know, she was blunt with it. She wasn't trying to hide anything. She wasn't trying to sugarcoat anything. She wasn't trying to, you know, Morris code it or nothing. Like, she was just like, look, I'm gonna tell y'all what it is, straight up. So that interview kind of triggered Khloe Kardashian, who's actually my favorite Kardashian, to respond to what Amber had to say about her sister Kylie having to like go to sleep and stuff or whatever, and how like she's too young to be rolling around town with Tyga and yada yada yada. So Khloe took to her Twitter on Monday and she said, I was a stripper since I was 15 years old, Amber Rose told Fox. Please don't worry about my sister who has a career and her shit together at only 17. People who live in glass houses shouldn't throw shades. We get asked questions about people all the time, and my sisters and I always take the high road and don't answer. The truth is, we don't know these people. I don't know Amber, so why would I comment on her? I'm not going to comment on someone I don't know. That's unfair. We all hear things via social media or blogs, but I only want to comment on someone if I actually knew them and or had my own personal history with them. I would think others would want that same respect. That's unfair. We hear things via social media or it loops or whatever. But yeah, that's what she basically had to say. So after she sent out that tweet, Amber added her and she you know, commented back, and she said, I'm happy you brought up the fact that I was a stripper at 15. I'll be that little whore to support my family like your older sister is a whore to support hers. We're even, hashtag mother give facts. So I was like, oh Jesus. So like literally this was like the talk of Monday. Like this is just starting off on Monday and stuff or whatever, because I remember I was on the phone with my cousin and we was talking about it, and as we were talking about it, like I follow like the Shade Room on Instagram and stuff, and like every time I like refreshed my Instagram newsfeed, it was always like new memes coming up and stuff or whatever. I know it was one meme where it said something about you call me a whore or something like that. Oh no, it was a Kanye thing, and it said, when your sister-in-law calls your ex a stripper but your wife has a sex tape. And it was just like memes, like Kim's friend Jonathan was getting into it, you know, people was, you know, when I tell you it was so much people that ain't got nothing to do with the situation was coming out of the woodworks putting their 2 cents in. I know that, you know, Amber, she mentioned Trina, how she loves Trina's music in her Breakfast Club interview. So Trina, she sat there and, you know, kind of screenshot, you know, Amber's interview with the Breakfast Club, and she said slay. Reggie Bush got in the situation, and you know, everybody knows Reggie is like Kim's ex. He sat there and tweeted the shock face emojis and stuff or whatever, and he sat there and followed Amber Rose. And then, you know, when I tell you, so Sanaa Lathan, she had it. Look, anybody, Obama probably had a opinion about this and we just don't know it. But when I tell you there was so many people getting involved and putting their 2 cents in on whose side they was on in the situation, and I was just like, man, ew, like this is getting out of hand, boy. But that is not the end of it, people. That is not the end of it. So moving on to our second beat of this week, we are going to continue with the Breakfast Club. So after Amber Rose sat there and she did her interview with the Breakfast Club, Tyga called them up and said, hey, I need to come up there and, you know, let some things be known. So Tyga was actually in New York this week because he was on the Between the Sheets tour with Chris Brown and Trey Songz, and they were here at Barclays Center, and I wasn't there, so technically I don't care, but I'm so bitter about it. But he was here in New York, so he did an interview with the Breakfast Club, and he, you know, he went right to work. He was like, look, I'm here to basically, you know, put the rumors to rest and stuff or whatever. And I sat there and I made a list of notes as far as what he went to like talk about. So basically the interview started off with, look, I'm not dating Kylie. Kylie and I are good friends. She's a good person. I've been friends with her family for the longest. We both live in Calabasas and stuff or whatever. You know, my son plays with North, and even when, you know, Kim and China was friends, I introduced them, and like he was like basically like, I'm cool with them and I'm cool with Kylie. She's a good person to be around, and that's that. But wasn't nobody buying his story. And let me tell you the points that, you know, he kind of weakened his story and made us believe, okay, nah, Tyga is absolutely lying. So he just said, first and foremost, that he didn't want to kind of respond back to what Amber said or like comfort Amber, only for the simple fact that Amber is the well, she's technically still his wife, but the estranged wife and the baby mother of Wiz Khalifa, and he has respect for Wiz. So he said, I'm not going to respond to that, but I will say that Kylie and I are not dating. And he also said, I did not leave China to be with Kylie. He said, China and I have been broken up for a while. And it was about a year after we weren't together that people found out that China and I weren't together. And when they found out that we weren't together and they saw that Kylie and I was hanging out, they kind of said, oh, he left China for Kylie. So he basically wanted to put that to rest. I did not leave China and my child to be with Kylie, and I'm not with Kylie. But Tyga, you shouldn't have said nothing. I'm sorry. You shouldn't have said nothing. These have been rumors for months. You should have just let these rumors continue to be, because your argument was not strong at all. And this is exactly where his argument went south. He basically said to them, oh, what is the statutory age limit here in New York City? So Charlamagne sat there, Googled it up, and he found out on Google that the statutory age limit here in New York City is actually 16. So he was like, even if I wanted to mess with her, I can because she's of age. So I was like, strike number one, Tyga, you should have just left it at I don't mess with her and leave it at that. You just putting your 2 cents in and it's not going. And the way Charlamagne was saying, he was like, you're basically red shirt and Kylie. She's 17 right now, so you're sitting here whining and dining her, getting to know her and stuff or whatever. But as soon as she turned 18 come the summertime, that's going to be your girlfriend. You're going to be like, that's my girl. So he was like, you're basically red shirt and Kylie. And he was like, no, that's not the case. We're really great friends. Simple as that. And then he even did something else to make me sit here and say, and make everyone else say, nah, Tyga's lying, because he sat there and he said something to the fact of, I didn't quote him exactly, but I know, first of all, y'all know I'm gonna have these interviews below in the description box, so don't worry about that. But when you click on the interview and you watch the interview, he said something to the fact that now, some years down the line from now, if we do decide to date, you know, it shouldn't be an issue because around that time, she'll be of age. So we was like, all right, Tyga, you're dating her or you're messing around with her, but you don't want to fully date her or come out in public and say I'm dating her, because he is 25 years old and she is 17 years old. So that was the second beat of this week. Now we're going to hop into our third beat of this week, and it's actually well, it happened today. The interview aired today, so we're still stuck within like the whole Breakfast Club box. You know, the Breakfast Club, they hot, they popping. You know, everybody talks about their interviews. So this week, or I should say today, they aired their interview with Kanye West. And I saw last night when I was watching, what's that? It was Thursday yesterday. Today's Friday. I was watching Scandal, and I was on Twitter. You know, I do my daily tweets when I watch my shows and stuff or whatever, and I saw that Charlamagne said we're gonna end the week off right by having Kanye West. So I'm like, oh my god, Jesus Christ, like it's about to get crazy, because you know, the last time Kanye was on the Breakfast Club, he sat there and he was on his rants, he was wilding out, and then even after when he left the Breakfast Club, he went over to Sway's show, and that's when he did the whole "you ain't got the answer, Sway," and you know, that became a big meme and stuff, whatever. So we was like, oh my gosh, Kanye West and then especially like Charlamagne got together for the second time in a row, is about to get crazy. So when I tell you, when I woke up this morning, the first thing on my mind was turn on the radio, because you have to hear this Kanye interview. And I will let y'all know, on the secret is that when they play interviews, I was listening to an interview this morning, but after the interview was over on the radio, I went over to, you know, the Breakfast Club website or Power 105 website to listen to the interview in its entirety, because they don't play like interviews as a whole. First of all, the interviews aren't live. Really, I don't think all the interviews are live. Maybe some are, but I don't, for the most part, I don't think most interviews are live. It's like pre-recorded and then, you know, like they play it on the radio and stuff. But I went on their website to, you know, basically listen to the entire interview, because I know they didn't play the entire interview on the radio. And that interview was just about a good hour. So there was a lot in that interview. So it was way different than the last interview. Kanye was very much more calm. He seemed to, you know, enjoy himself more. He, you know, explained himself, was more detailed, and, you know, he kind of like clicked, and it was a good interview. It was a very good interview, I must say. Definitely, probably one of the best, you know, interviews that I've heard from Kanye in a while. It was so many things he talked about. He spoke about fashion, because, you know, Fashion Week just passed here in New York City, and he did his first fashion show for his Adidas line, and he has like these new sneakers. I'm not too much of a sneaker head and stuff. I have my few select, you know, favorite sneakers that I like to get here and there, but you know, he's signed with Adidas now, and he has a line out and stuff. So he has new sneakers. I'll be sure to put the sneakers on either side or whatever. And he talked about his line. He talked about how he wanted to do like affordable clothing, and how he talked to Ralph Lauren to help him, like, you know, kind of, you know, build the kind of brand that he wants and stuff, basically. So boom, he gets the fashion talk out of the way. The next topic that they kind of tackled was like the whole Grammy situation, because, you know, we all know he was almost on stage, and he was about to, you know, say Beyoncé deserved the album of the year. So aside from him talking about that, he also went on to talk about music. He's in love with music again. Not that he like completely fell out of love with music, but he's happy about it. And I felt in the interview, I kind of felt his happiness. If that, like, his happiness kind of transpired from my screen, and I kind of felt it because he didn't seem angry. He obviously, it was not one rant on this entire interview. Like, he was just conversing back and forth with DJ Envy, Charlamagne and God, and Angela Yee. Like, it was just like a regular conversation. And he talked about how him and Drake at one point were talking about doing a joint album. He talked about, you know, artists that, you know, helped him out when he first, you know, started out and stuff. Then Charlamagne asked him about, you know, why don't you show support to like some of your artists and stuff, particularly who he named was Tiana Taylor, because y'all know last year, late last year, at the end of the year, she released her debut album 7 and stuff, and Kanye kind of admitted, he's like, I can be better at this, I can, you know, be on some features, I could be making some music videos. But he was saying that also recently he shot a music video with Big Sean, the Blessing video. I don't know if you heard if y'all heard the song Blessings, but it's a new song and it's part of Big Sean's new album. And he said he shot the video and he was just happy to be there. He was just happy to be working, doing music. He's saying that how if he can spend 6 hours in the studio and stuff or whatever and get some work done, he'll feel accomplished. Like, he just seemed, to me, I kind of felt like I was getting not so much of the old Kanye back, but the Kanye that we've known recently. To me, he wasn't really present that much. He didn't seem too angry. So the interview was making me very, you know, happy, and I was like loving it and listening to it. But then here goes the kicker. This is how we connect this beat to beats 2 and 1. So in the interview, they brought up the whole Amber Rose situation and stuff or whatever, and they was saying how Amber was talking about the Kardashians and how she says that Kim is basically fake and stuff or whatever. So I had to write down what Kanye said exact word for word, because technically this is currently an ongoing situation. Like, before I even press record on this camera, like, it's still like going back and forth with this. It's like it's never ending. Like, for right now, it's not never ending. So what he said as far as like the whole Kim Kardashian, you know, talk between Amber and the Breakfast Club from last week, he basically said, if Kim had dated me when I first wanted, there wouldn't be no Amber Rose. When I first heard that, I said, ooh, like, really, that was my real reaction. Like, I'm not even like playing for the camera. I was like, oh. And then I went to my Twitter and I tweeted that, because I was like, wow. He said if he had been with Kim sooner than what he was, he would have never been with Amber, and it would be no Amber Rose. I was like, damn. But wait, he took it one step further. He sat here and he said, I took 30 showers before I got with Kim. Let me say that one more time. He said, I'd take 30 showers before I got with Kim. So I was like, and then Kim, she said, you take, I mean, not Kim, I'm sorry. Amber, she tweeted and she said something to the fact where you take 30 showers before you got with Kim, but she had Ray J. Look, I think y'all know where I'm going with this. I'm not even gonna keep on going. But yeah, so I was like, oh my God, Jesus Christ. I was like, and for me, I felt like this was gonna happen sooner or later. Like, this whole triangle situation, it was gonna happen sooner or later, because I remember before, we all know Amber Rose and Kanye was together at one point, and then, you know, Reggie Bush and Kim were together at one point. And rumors are, I don't know if this is true, but the rumors were, while Kim was with Reggie and while Amber and Kanye were together, Kim and Kanye were like, you know, sneaking and, you know, texting each other and sending pictures and stuff. And I remember at one point in time, Amber, like, after her and Kanye were over, she even went on the Wendy Williams show and said that she even took Kanye's phone and texted Kim, like, stop texting my man situation. And then they broke up, and, you know, Kim got with whoever she got with after the fact, only for her and Kanye to be together in the end. And last year, Reggie got married, Kim and Kanye got married, and then Amber got married to Wiz. And then so that's 3 couples right there. And then they all had kids in the same year as well. It was only a matter of time before like that whole situation were to like clash and stuff or whatever. But moving on from like that whole Amber Rose situation, Kanye put his foot in his mouth again. And they, you know, of course asked him about the whole Kylie and Tyga situation, because Kylie is his sister-in-law and he's also cool with Tyga, because Tyga has been saying that he's been working with Kanye in the studio and stuff or whatever. So they basically said to him, oh, what do you think about, you know, the whole Tyga and Kylie situation? And he said they're closer in age than a lot of relationships I know. And he said, I think he got in early. I think that was smart. So Kanye, look, it was like F everything Tyga just said earlier this week. Kanye basically confirmed to us right here and right now that Tyga and Kylie are together. And I remember in the previous video I said, if Tyga said he not with her, he not with her. I don't care, because when I was 17 and I was in love with him, where was he at? So technically I didn't care, but I mean now it's like to the point where, look, they're together, they're dating, whatever the case may be. In most states the statutory law is 16. She's 17. She turns 18 this summer. So whatever the case may be, I mean, is it right? Dang on minutes, you know, people be having babies and they not 18 and they baby fathers be like 25, but that ain't my business, cause that ain't me. But yeah, so that's like beats 1, 2, and 3, like they all tie together in some type of way, because it's been some type of drama with the Kardashians, Amber Rose, Kanye West, Tyga. Like it's just been a whole hoopla with that whole entire group within like this week. But we will move on to the 4th beat of this week and move away from them, and we are going to talk about Iggy Azalea. We all know that Iggy Azalea, she has been in the media quite often. She has been receiving a lot of backlash from a lot of people as far as her pretending to be black and her stripping black people of their culture when it comes to like this whole rap music thing, and how she's an Australian girl. So why is it that she imitates a black accent when she raps and stuff or whatever? So, you know, she's been getting into Twitter fights and yada 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 yada. But earlier this week, she had announced on her Twitter that she will be taking a break from social media because she's just done with the BS. So she said, just got back from a great vacation, came online and saw apparently it's shocking and unheard of a woman to have cellulite. I just want to have peace and relaxation time without a perv with long distant lens hiding out taking pictures. Everyone deserves peace. I feel the hatred and the pettiness I see online at all times is that making me become an angry person, and I cannot be that. To become nasty because of the way I feel I am treated would be a disservice to my fans, and I promise I will try to keep smiling. But I also want to try to let my fans know I am taking some time away from social media. I need to be happy, and it is too negative and draining. My management will tweak / run my accounts from today onwards with updates, etc., unless any messages is signed IA. Love you all, peace out. The internet is the ugliest reflection of mankind there is. So I feel like this whole social media timeout that she's about to go on, or that she's on right now, is very much needed, because I feel like if you're not seen or heard from, there is no backlash. And I also feel like, yeah, she needs more like tougher skin and stuff or whatever, because from my understanding, like when you put yourself in the public eye and you know you put out work, there are going to be people who scrutinize you. I'm sure like not every person in America hates you, and of course she has like people who support her and love her and stuff or whatever, but I feel like everything that she's gotten herself into so far as social media goes, I feel like this break is definitely well overdue, and you know, it's about time. Like technically I think this break should have started at the beginning of 2015 when that whole, you know, Azalea Banks situation happened at the end of 2014. I would have been like, you know what, I wash my hands with it. The best revenge is to sit here and put out a second you know, a second popping album. You know, they usually say the sophomore albums are the hardest. So I wouldn't even put my energy into arguing with people on social media. I'd be like, okay, cool. Y'all want to shut me down? I'ma shut up. I'ma shut up. And her best revenge and how she should have made noise and made people respect her is through her music. So Iggy, if you are watching this, which I doubt you will be, enjoy your break, girl. Enjoy it. That's all I have to say. Take your break. Focus on living your life, being happy, and make sure you come back better than ever with that sophomore album, because it'd be a damn shame if you sit here and put all this energy into fighting with people on social media only for you to have a weak ass second album. So I would say put all of this energy to your music and stuff and just ignore the haters. So have fun, girl. See you when I see you. So moving on to our last beat of this week, I do want to talk about the leak photos. It was like leak photos of Beyonce this week. I think the photos were like from 2010. She did like a, you know, she's the face, or one of the faces of L'Oreal Cosmetics, and they were like leaked photos of her face in like drenched in makeup, and you know, you see like lines and stuff, and you see like little pimples on the side and everything, and people need life. People need lives and stuff or whatever. A lot of people were like saying, ha ha ha, y'all thought Beyonce was perfect and stuff or whatever, and how she's not real. And it was just like, people, I'm like, first of all, if there's anything we've learned in our lives up to this point, is there are certain people you do not come after. And Beyonce just happens to be one of those people, because when you come for Beyonce, the end result is not so good. So that's number one. And number two, I don't think anybody ever doubted that Beyonce was, you know, not human. The hell? We all get pimples, like, damn. If I took all of this off, y'all could, oh, y'all don't even want to know what's under here, first of all. Let's just start there. But we talk about Beyonce. I'm not Beyonce. So yeah. But I mean, like, come on, like, seriously, like, we've seen Beyonce without makeup plenty of times. And there's so many times where she sits here and she has like makeup looks where it looks like barely there makeup. So it's like a natural look. So that was like from 3 years ago or something like that. And she could have had a pimple then and don't have a pimple now. And we all know for the simple fact that she was doing like a makeup campaign. Y'all don't think they're gonna sit here and, you know, add edits and stuff and like, oh, let me blemish out that little pimple right there and stuff or whatever, fade that out, and, you know, make it flawless. Like, hell, if I was doing a campaign and I had lines and pimples and stuff or whatever, I would want them to edit that out too. It's not like they changed her face to the point that we don't know that's Beyonce. Like, it's like, grow up, B. And then it's like, at the same time, I read something where the Beehive contacted the FBI because they want to know who leaked these pictures. Now, Beehive, I respect y'all, I love y'all and everything, but look, if Beyonce ain't tripping, y'all shouldn't be tripping, calling the FBI. There's other stuff going on out in the world right now without, we don't need the FBI investigating who leaked behind the scenes pictures of Beyonce. Trust me, there are way more bigger issues in this world. But I mean, grow up. Beyonce better than you and I, so what? Anyway, so those are my 5 hot beats of this week. Okay guys, so I want to thank you for tuning into this week's video, and like always, you know, I have to remind you guys to comment on my videos, like my videos, subscribe to my channel, and share my videos with others. And I have 2 quick notes to leave you guys with this week. My first note is that Chris Brown and Tyga will be releasing their new album, Fan of a Fan, this upcoming Tuesday, February 24th. And this is not the mixtape like it was back in 2010, but this is the album version. And also another album coming out this upcoming Tuesday, the 24th, is Big Sean's new album, Dark Sky Paradise. So be sure to cop the new music. You know, we love new music over here at When the Beat Drops. And I have to leave you guys with my song of the week. And you know that last week I told you about, you know, Drake's, you know, new mixtape. At this time, I didn't want to call it a mixtape because I wasn't sure. But it's confirmed. It is a mixtape. His new mixtape. If you're reading this, it's too late. And I'm familiar with the songs now, so I decided to choose a song from the mixtape to be my song of the week. And one of my favorites off of the mixtape would actually have to be his song Used To featuring Lil Wayne. So that is my song of the week. So I want to thank you guys once again for tuning in, and I will see you next week. Bye. So you know you have to continue, you know you have to stay tuned for more. Yeah. And of course you have to stay tuned for more if you want to hear them, and that's not what I'm trying to say. And last week I told you guys about and I have 2 quick notes to leave you guys with this week. On this Tuesday, this is February, man.